What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Forgotten Players of Major League Baseball. I hope to shed some light on their careers and their stats. Today, we are talking about Tigers catcher Bill Freehan. William Ashley Freehan was born on November 29, 1941 in Detroit, Michigan. His father, Ashley, worked as a sales representative for a seat installation company. His mother's name was Helen. He was raised in Royal Oak, Michigan until he was 14 when his family moved to St. Petersburg, Florida. He went to Bishop Barry High School and graduated in 1959. He originally wanted to go to the University of Notre Dame, but he didn't want to choose between baseball or football. He eventually enrolled at the University of Michigan on an athletic scholarship, playing as a catcher and linebacker. He set a record by batting .585 in the '61 season. Freehan was signed by his hometown Tigers in 1961 for a bonus of $100,000. He played 4 games in the '61 season, finishing with 1 run, with 4 hits, 4 RBIs, with a .400 batting average in 11 plate appearances. In '62, Freehan went back down to the minors for the entire season, but he was back for the majors in 1963. Freehan worked on defense with former MLB catcher Rick Farrell. Freehan finished the 1963 season playing 100 games, having 37 runs with 73 hits, with 36 RBIs, with a .243 batting average in 345 plate appearances. In 1964, Freehan cemented himself as the full-time catcher for the Tigers. He was selected to his first All-Star game that year, and he finished playing 144 games with 69 runs, with 156 hits and 80 RBIs, and finishing with a great batting average of .300 in 573 plate appearances. Freehan finished tied 7th in AL MVP voting. He tied with two-time All-Star and 1963 AL Rookie of the Year award winner Gary Peters. Also, Peters had 2 ERA titles. In 1965, Freehan showed off the glove, winning his first career Gold Glove award. He also was selected to his second career All-Star game. He finished the season playing 130 games with 45 runs, with 101 hits and 43 RBIs, and he also had a .234 batting average in 485 plate appearances. In 1966, Freehan proved himself again as a star player, being an All-Star for the third time in a row and winning his second straight Gold Glove. Freehan finished the 1966 season playing 136 games with 47 runs, with 115 hits and 46 RBIs, and also having a .234 batting average and 544 plate appearances. Freehan finished 16th place in AL MVP voting, finishing 1 spot behind fellow teammate Denny McLain. In 1967, Freehan had clearly set a standard for each season, becoming an All-Star again for the 4th straight season and winning his 3rd straight Gold Glove. He finished the 1967 season playing 155 games with 66 runs, with 146 hits and 74 RBIs, and having a .282 batting average in 618 plate appearances. Freehan finished 3rd in AL MVP voting, behind Hall of Famers Harmon Killebrew and Carl Yastrzemski. In 1968, both Freehan and the Tigers were great, with Freehan being an All-Star for the 5th straight time and also winning his 4th straight Gold Glove. He finished the '68 season with playing 155 games with 73 runs, with 142 hits and 84 RBIs, and also having a .263 batting average and 635 plate appearances. Freehan finished 2nd in AL MVP voting, behind teammate Denny McLain. Tigers manager Mayo Smith helped the Tigers to finish first in the AL with a 103-59 record, sending them to the World Series against the NL champions, the Cardinals. The Cardinals were led by such players as Orlando Cepeda, Lou Brock, Steve Carlton, and that year's NL Cy Young Award winner and NL MVP Award winner, pitcher Bob Gibson. In Game 1, Freehan had 3 plate appearances with 1 walk, striking out 2 times. The Tigers lost the game 10-4. In Game 2, Freehan had 5 plate appearances and 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. The Tigers won Game 2 8-1. In Game 3, Freehan had 4 plate appearances with 1 walk. The Tigers lost the game 3-7. In Game 4, Freehan had 3 strikeouts in 3 plate appearances, and the Tigers would lose that game 10-1. In Game 5, Freehan had 4 plate appearances and 1 strikeout. The Tigers would win the game 5-3. Also, famously in Game 5, Bill Freehan blocked the plate to prevent the speedy Lou Brock from scoring. He was called out, but that has been speculated for years as people think that Lou Brock's foot touched the base. In Game 6, Freehan had 5 plate appearances with 1 hit, 1 RBI, and 1 walk. The Tigers won Game 6 to force a Game 7. In Game 7, Freehan had 4 plate appearances with 1 hit and 1 RBI, helping the Tigers win Game 7 for the World Series. The World Series MVP that year was Mickey Lolich. Yet again, in the 1969 season, Freehan was an All-Star and winning another Gold Glove that year. This would be his 6th straight All-Star appearance and his 5th straight Gold Glove. Freehan finished the 69 season playing 143 games with 61 runs, with 128 hits, with 49 RBIs, with a .262 batting average and 555 plate appearances. Freehan finished in a 3-way tie for 26th spot in AL MVP voting, tied with Washington's Dick Bosman and Red Sox All-Star Mike Andrews. In 1970, Freehan was an All-Star again, but he didn't win a Gold Glove that year. He finished playing 117 games with 44 runs and 95 hits with 52 RBIs with a .241 batting average and 458 plate appearances. In 1971, Freehan was an All-Star, finishing the season playing 148 games with 57 runs, with 143 hits, with 71 RBIs, with a .277 batting average and 586 plate appearances. In 1972, Freehan yet again was an All-Star, finishing playing 111 games with 51 runs, with 98 hits, with 71 RBIs, with a .262 batting average and 430 plate appearances. Freehan finished in a 4-way tie for 26th spot for AL MVP. He tied with Ken McMullen of the California Angels, Hall of Famer Brooks Robinson, and the Red Sox Reggie Smith. Billy Martin helped the Tigers finish first in the AL East with an 86-70 record, and they would face up against the Oakland A's in the AL Championship Series, led by such players as Reggie Jackson, Sal Bando, and Catfish Hunter. Freehan did not play in Games 1 and 2, which Oakland would win both, 3-2 and 5-0. In Game 3, Freehan had 2 hits, 1 RBI, and 4 plate appearances. The Tigers won Game 3, 3-0. In Game 4, Freehan had 1 hit and 1 RBI in 5 plate appearances. The Tigers won the game 4-3. In Game 5, Freehan had 1 RBI in 4 plate appearances. The Tigers lost the game 1-2 and lost the series. The Oakland A's would go on to win the World Series that year over the Reds. In 1973, Freehan was an All-Star and finished playing 110 games with 33 runs, with 89 hits and 29 RBIs, with a .234 batting average in 435 plate appearances. In the '74 season, Freehan somehow was not an All-Star, breaking the consecutive streak of All-Star appearances with 10 straight. Freehan split time that year between catcher and first base. He finished playing 130 games with 58 runs, with 132 hits and 60 RBIs, with a .297 batting average in 502 plate appearances. In 1975, Freehan was an All-Star again and finished playing in 120 games with 42 runs, with 105 hits and 47 RBIs, with a .246 batting average and 468 plate appearances. Freehan retired in the '76 season, finishing playing in 71 games with 22 runs, with 64 hits and 27 RBIs, and a .270 batting average in 237 plate appearances. Freehan finished his incredible career having 11 All-Star appearances, with 5 Gold Gloves, and being a 1968 World Series champion. He had a career 44.8 WAR with 1,591 hits and 200 home runs, with a .262 career batting average and 6,900 plate appearances. Freehan would go on to coach Tigers catcher Lance Parrish. He also was a color commentator for the Mariners from 1979 to 1980 and the Tigers from 1984 to 1985. He then became the head coach of the University of Michigan baseball team from 1989 to 1995. After that, in 2002, he went back to the Tigers as a catching instructor. Sadly, later on, Freehan was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, and on August 19th, 2021, he died from the disease at the age of 79. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can tell that you guys, like these videos because the Steve last one got a pretty good amount of views, more than I've had in a very long time. And, I thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, whatever you feel like doing. And like always, wash your hands, stay safe, equals peace.